We're good.
We're good, but I'm not good.
You're not good? Why not?
I'm not good. I'm not good. I just want to get it off right off the rip, man. Just to get it off my chest, man. Yeah, I was holding on to this for a little bit, and during the game, it was just pissing me off. And a lot of you guys might know what I'm referring to. You see the 49er jerseys, my Jerry Rice. By the way, I've had this since, and you guys might be like, how does it fucking fit you? I've had this since I was like 10 years old. Nah, we'll say about 12, 13, 14 years old. And you might say, what? Are you fucking even the same size? Grown. They never had a lot of sizes. Here, let me put my mic a little bit closer. They never had a lot of sizes when I was a kid. And remember, I mean, back then there wasn't online and stuff. I mean, you're either getting on HSN, QVC, or you're going to the fucking Champs Mall in your small mall, right, over here in our town. So they only had certain sizes. So anyways, this is my Jerry Rice jersey that have stuck with me for quite some time. I love it. It fits me better now.
Yeah, at least you got that. I have a good friend that got me a Walter Payton jersey, and it's a dress on me.
Oh, yeah. You got to get them fitted right, man.
Yeah, so.
People know, you got to get that jersey that's fitted. And even if it's not fitted, I think like the shortcut, like to make it look cool, is get the hoodie underneath it. Do you like the hoodie? Like you're wearing a hoodie now, but if I had a black hoodie underneath this, long sleeve, it looks sick. It looks cool. Or, even like the pullovers.
The elastic on the...
Yeah, do you see what I did? These are kind of like it, yeah.
So you're making it that way.
Yeah, I made it that way. Yeah.
I like it like that, so.
Not that I'm all jacked and stuff. Anyways.
Let's get to it. So you said you got to get some shit off your chest.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry, but everyone keeps fucking, I'm being biased. I know I'm a Niner fan, but why the fuck are you guys dogging out Brock Purdy, man? Like, what the fuck, dude? The guy is just turned 24 years old, like a couple weeks ago. He's a fucking kid still. It's his second year in the league. And anything you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Anything he fucking does, well, it's the scheme. It's Shanahan. But if he does something bad, you suck. He sucks. I told you. If he does something good, it's the scheme. It's the scheme. He's a game manager. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. And I'm just like, damn, are you guys like really like bothered by him? Like why are we dogging this dude out so much? And I know they can compare him against anybody they want to. You can even take the Jordan Loves and the CJ Strouds or some newer quarterbacks, right? And you can compare it to him, which no one's even trying to do. And I'm not saying that I would just look at it this way. We still don't know about any of these because just because you have a Carson Wentz moment where, oh, damn, this bitch is pretty good, right? We
thought he was going to be in the league for a while.
Baker Mayfield was starting off, you got the Deshaun Watson. Dude, you don't know what can happen to a quarterback, and you don't really know until time goes on. There's a lot of factors, and you can analyze them all you want. So I want to just point out some stuff. There was people talking shit, and I know who they are. One of them is James Jones. Remember him from fucking Green Bay?
Absolutely. I'm a Bears fan, so I know.
Oh, he's fucking guy. He's one of them, and he's just like, I don't want to be a hater. It's like, no. It's not that you don't want to be a hater. You don't want people to know that you are a hater towards them. So you don't want to talk about it. It's not, you don't want to, I don't want to hate on him. No, you do hate on him. You just don't want to share it. That's all it is. That's why you didn't want to share it. Richard Sherman, obviously a Niner and stuff. He was sticking up for him and arguing with everybody. Shady McCoy. You know what? Sometimes these analysts, I don't know how you guys feel about this. It's like we get, as like the average person in America, you got these networks and stuff that kind of control content and who's saying stuff. I think some people sell their souls to the devil, to me, the Illuminati and stuff, and will do whatever they want them to do. And they put them in front of our face, and we look at them like they know something, maybe because they're a celebrity or something. I'm being serious.
Oh, like absolutely. I know that part.
And the average person doesn't. They're like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah said that. I'm like, why do we care about what James Jones says? Like, well, he used to be on the Packers. Okay, he was wide receiver 3, and he has a ring. But remember, Jordy Nelson was number 1 there, and then Greg Jennings was number 2 there. I'm just calling it like it is. Like, why is this guy now an amazing analyst? I mean, he played football, but now he's an analyst, and we're supposed to listen to... No, he's just sharing his emotions. Like, so these analysts today, I don't even think are analysts. They're not really analyzing. They're just talking about how they feel, their name, and they just kind of show up. Maybe they did a deal. And that's what we're going off of some of these people. James Jones didn't really care for him. Obviously, dogging him out. Sean McCoy, Shane McCoy, Stephen A. Smith, Keyshawn Johnson, too. That guy.
Hey, Smith should stick to basketball. I don't know why he talks about football. I feel he doesn't watch football, and he tries to comment on it, and that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So
it is. You got Skip Bayless over there, too. Ryan Clark as well. I mean, I'm just going off of, there's more and more and more and more. But, Brandon Ayuk stepped up. Like, yo, you guys need to watch film, backing up. And he's done it a couple times, backing up his QB, Brock. And then also Debo backing him up as well. Shannon Sharp was being fair to him. I was like, oh, that's cool. Emmanuel Acho.
Yes,
Acho, he was sticking out for him, and he was giving some really strong points, really good points. And then obviously I said Richard Sherman. So I wanted to look at and give my opinion and point out some things that I don't think that the analysts that we're listening to, that many of them aren't even really, I mean, they're not analysts to me. They're just ex-football players, and now they're supposedly have a great mind too. You know, it's like, dude, you're good at football, right? I'm not that good at football. I would play, but I was probably average. But maybe I'm better at analytics, so maybe I should be the one speaking about things and sharing my opinion, right? Oh, well, Chris, you're just an average person, and no one cares about you, right? You're right. That's because that's what the way the world works is. What I just kind of said is you judge somebody from the outside, and you don't know what's going on the inside, which is what I look at when I look at Brock Purdy. You seen White Man Can't Jump, right? You know Billy Hoyle? Yeah, he's a slow, white Billy Ho. Billy Ho. Dude. What do you look at him? You look at him. This guy can't. What do they say in the movie? He's a fucking geek. He's like, you're a fucking geek. Yeah, this hard damn work making something that's pretty, full like a chump or a geek, whatever the line was, right? He was a good basketball player, good shooter, and he could school people, right? So but he doesn't look it. So I think today, and this is just my vent, and I'll get this off, and then you can obviously have a lot of this mic more than what I'm about to take over.
No, I like it.
Is that they're not looking at. And they're terrible at drafting QBs in the NFL. These people that are just in charge of like making decisions and stuff like that. How many times we're like, oh, well, this guy's going number 1 and this guy's going number 2, number 3. And how many times that those people do not pan out? So what I've learned from being a fan and watching this is that a lot of you guys are terrible at analyzing players. And you don't know really what they're going to do. And you have all these hopes and dreams and stuff that a lot of times, more than not, more likely they don't work out. They don't work out. Poor Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell. You can even look at David Carr. There's a ton of them. There really is a lot. And then you look at a picture of Tom Brady during like his combine, and you see it. I mean, for real. Do you see the dog in him? No. Do you see anything great about him? No. He just looks like his goofy, needs to work out, like slow white boy, right? He just look like this guy can't do anything. He's not a baller, right? That's why I use the Billy Hoyle thing as an example. It's I think that Brock Purdy's looked at that way. He's like, who's this guy? He's not real tall.
Yeah, was he 6'1"?
He's like 6'1", and a lot of times in the NFL, everyone pushes it, so it's probably 6 foot. Right. And it's like, is he really fast? No. Does he have like the most amazing strong arm? No. So it's like, okay, well, we don't like him, and he's terrible. That's why he's Mr. Irrelevant. That's why no one wanted to pick him. And I'm like, well, there's more to analyzing people, which I don't think everyone's doing properly anymore. You want to see, I want Josh Allen. Why? Oh, because he's got a strong arm, he's tall, and he's fast, and that's our guy. That's a QB. He
got a QB body, right?
For real, they're judging from the exterior, and they don't know what else is needed. I don't think humans don't understand it. It's almost like there's IQ and there's like EQ, that emotional intelligence, that next level, that extra sense to say, no, there's something different about this guy. Drew Brees is a perfect example. Not very tall. Arm, okay. I mean, really, what do you think of Drew Brees? If you saw him, would you think that he was going to do what he was going to do?
No. I mean, no, not in the NFL. I mean, he was a gunslinger in college too, though. So he was badass in college. But I didn't know he was going to put up, the numbers that he did in the NFL.
Do you know what kind of numbers he put up off of memory?
I know.
Do you know how good he really was as a passer? Not championship, Super Bowl, judging him that way.
At one point, didn't he lead like the NFL all time until Brady kept going? But
completely, you're hitting the nail on the head. So what it is with Drew Brees, and once again, if you look at him, you wouldn't think, but there's a strong argument that I could have against every single QB that played the game. We can include Brady because, once again, analyzing people the wrong way, you would say, well, Brady's the GOAT, Brady's the greatest. Why? Well, he has the rings. Okay, well, can we go QB passing? Did he pass? Was he a better passer than Drew Brees? Did he do better passing? I understand he got rings. There's two sides to all this. There's obviously a defense, offense. There's a lot of factors that come into play, without talking about rigs and stuff. But do you know what Drew Brees was accomplished? How many 5,000 yard? How many times he was first passing yards out of everyone in the league? I have right here. And from 2006 to 2017, if I tell you his rankings, you'll be like, damn, really? Yes, he was number 1 majority of the time. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times he was first passing. He doesn't have the rings. But damn, when you look at a passer, so what I'm getting at is, and some people make, Brock is kind of like a Drew Brees. Why? Well, he's not that tall and stuff. And I would be, thank you. It's a huge compliment if you say that. And I think Brock said, he was like, wow, that's really like crazy. But yeah, you can look at Drew. Drew had dominated.
They're comparing him to Drew Brees.
Some things. I mean, they're not comparing him to fucking Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. And
I guess so. Size wise, they're comparing him.
Right.
Not.
I would think so. The way he's passing, remember, he's only 2 years in. We can't say, I mean, if you take Drew Brees back when he was on San Diego before he got hurt, you know what I mean? It's too early is what I'm trying to say for even anybody to even hating on this guy.
Right, they want to dismiss him right out the gate.
Right out the gate, and it's almost telling me that people are bothered by him. They're bothered by him. They're bothered by, why is this guy that is like last pick, that's not very tall, that's not very fast, that is just this young kid and doesn't have the strongest arm? Why is he doing good? He has to suck. It's got to be the Shanahan scheme. So my question to you is, well, why wasn't Lance, who obviously practiced, why didn't Trey Lance, act this way? Why didn't Jimmy Garoppolo do? I think Brock is doing better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Can you agree to that?
Oh,
less mistakes?
I wouldn't say about the less mistakes, but I want to say they're on the same level. Garoppolo did great.
I think a lot of people hate him. Okay. We got a 2-year guy in. Right. Just turned 24, second year in. And you're telling me he's already at like a kind of a veteran play for this?
Right, yes. He's making veteran throws and stuff like that. Yeah, he has bad games, but every vet has a bad game.
Nick Mullins was on our team as well, and he had a whole year, or at least a lot of games. Remember when he was in? I was rooting for him under Shanahan. Why didn't he turn into Brock? Why didn't C.J. Beathard turn into Brock? These are my points that you're blaming. You're saying that, it's Shanahan's scheme and stuff, and you're taking away credit from the kid. But I'm like, what about the other QBs that were also on Shanahan's thing? And why didn't they turn out good? Why aren't they slinging for 4,200 yards? By the way, pulling up his stats here, I don't think people realize. I mean, he had that best QB rating this year. So where's my cursor here? So best QB rating Brock had. He was at 113. I believe it was, going right here. So pulling down right here. Yeah, 113 right here. Who's ranked number 5, 4280 in the air, averaging more than everybody else, 9.6. The reason why is if you look at the attempts, 444 attempts, that's 50 to 100 attempts less than everybody on this list. C.J. Stroud did very well. He was the probably next closest one as C.J. Stroud, as you can see right here, 499. Dude, he didn't even have to pass as much. So, but then you're going to be like, oh, well, it's only because of George Kittle running after the catch or you're, like what you keep reaching and taking away from him so much. And I'm almost like, why are you dogging him so much that he just got here and you're like, you want to write him off? Why don't you just say, I don't know what this guy can do. He's doing some stuff, and you can pick him apart all you want against this Green Bay game, which we're about to jump into. And you can compare him to Jordan Love. And what I'm getting at is I don't think people realize that when you judge a quarterback or judge a person in general, that there's something inside that you can't see, and you can't see the brain. And what it is sometimes people process things like a computer. How fast can it process things?
Right.
How well can it read things, right? Scan things. Like how well can it handle like perseverance, determination when there's resilience? What can it do? Can it tap in? Can that person tap into perseverance, determination? Do they have that poise? Do they have, do they have resilience? Like, can they handle tough times when it's your last drive, which we're going to see here in a second, and there's 5 minutes to go, and you've been not really playing really well, and it's been raining, and he obviously doesn't have the biggest hands, but he has the same hands as Mahomes, so let's not pick at him too much, which is what people have been doing. Sorry the guy doesn't have a fucking mitt for a hand. He's not the biggest dude, but I'm saying he has things inside that other people don't have, which is why you're like, well, this guy has better physical features, and God, he's just amazing. But he just doesn't win Super Bowls. He's not really clutch and stuff like that. But then you're like, but this guy is. Yeah, I know, but he's not tall. He doesn't. Do you see my argument? I mean, tell me if you think I'm wrong for analyzing him to say, I think he has things inside that are very, very valuable that other QBs don't have, that do things and make up for maybe his lack of, I think he reading the game, reading defenses and decision-making fast, processing stuff, and seeing throws that, as you see with this one, we'll show it, Jennings. We'll start off with that Jennings throw. I mean, I got to give him credit for this. I have to give this young man credit at 24 years old, second year in the league, and you're processing pretty good compared to some of the other people that have been on Shanahan's scheme. That's where I end it. That's my thoughts. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, what do you think the reason why everyone is hating? Do you have a thought on that?
I just think the way that they see what it's the way the world works with humans. They're very 3D minded, not 5D minded, which would be somebody that sees the world based off of exterior, very superficial, very judging off of height, looking at someone, judging them wrong. And thinking, oh, that Mike Tyson guy, he's small, he's nothing. Next thing you know, he is like, yo, that dude, don't fuck with that dude. I don't care how big you are, he will crack you. That's what they don't understand that sometimes there's that dog inside people. There's that determination, that fight, that will to win. And just the brain that can't see how well he processes things and just how he can read things, analyze things fast and make decisions and senses is another thing. He can sense things. And I'm like Spidey senses in a way. I'm not saying he's got the best, but we'll watch some stuff and we'll make some, we'll read them.
I have a little bit of a theory. I think a lot of them that are hating on him compare them to him. They're like, no, he looks like me. So
right.
How is he so good? And he sucks. No, he can't be, because they feel like
you would be Brock Purdy.
Right. If he can do it, then I can do it. That's how they think. And I think that's why majority are hating on him, is because they compare themselves to him. They're like, he's a baby face. He looks 16.
Right.
And
I got a roommate, man, driving like a Sequoia, like sharing a fridge with his roommate and stuff. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. That's what I think. I think they look at him and be like, no, there's just no way this guy's going to be. Look at him. He looks like me, the average guy. There's no way he can be good. And for some reason they just want him to fail, and that's and that's why it's because he looks so average. They're like, no, I don't want someone average doing good, so they want him to fail or something. That's how I take it. I don't know why the hate, but I get your
dude. I just think he has determination. I think he has perseverance. I think he has resilience. I think he has poise. I think he just has that will, that fight, the courage, the brave. I think he has a lot of stuff inside. I'm sure he's hard on himself. I'm sure he's analytical.
They all listen to the comments.
Yeah,
they do. As much as they try to, block that out, they listen. So it gets in their head. It gets
in your head. But I think he's just smarter. I think he can see things before they develop. And it's what would be? He's very like proactive in seeing things before that they develop. His brain, I think, picks up on it. So I guess what I'm tipping my hat to is this guy. He could lose, and knock on wood, he doesn't lose in the championship or even the Super Bowl, and the Niners win. But he could still do that, and I know that they'll want to roast him and stuff. But I've already seen a good I could tell you there's a lot of QBs on this list right here in front of us that I could be like, I mean, I'm taking him over a lot of them. But you know what? It's only because of the way I view and analyze. He might not be a Trevor Lawrence, but then again, it's like, give Trevor Lawrence maybe, let's say Brock does read things very well, his brain processes well. But remember, you got to have like that where you don't get rattled. Like when the pressure is tough, do you stay calm under pressure? Like that could be a trait that he has that you don't know that he's staying calm. He's throwing he's getting hit.
And that fourth quarter shows you that with pressure, he could definitely handle it, and he did it well. I mean, in the start in the fourth quarter, he had the most amazing, you're like, wow, like that Jennings throw and catch was.
Let's throw that up since you mentioned that. I'll throw that right here. It's a slow motion view of it. There's no audio. This is a big boy throw that you have. Like, he's placing this. This guy's about that wants to pick him. They're like, let's get this.
When I very first.
What the fuck? Go ahead.
Started watching that, I thought he was going to Ayuk.
Right, the way that looks. I'm like, oh, he's going for Ayuk.
Because he's throwing he's in the middle of throwing, and all you see at the moment is Ayuk.
Yeah.
So.
This is a crazy, just seeing, okay, so Ray McLeod comes up and was like, yo, bro, to Jennings, and now watch George Kittle in the background there. He's just like, damn, and he points. He's like, that dude right there, bro. And then it's just.
Pointing at Jennings, by the way.
Yeah, Jennings right there. Pointing at Jennings, and he's just like, because he even said, the reason why I know, he said it in the post interview. Oh, okay. He made a comment about it. He was like, I cannot believe he dropped that in there to Jennings. He looked at that, he called it like a teardrop or whatever. But yeah, I mean, looking at this throw again, we'll run it one more time. It's you can just see. Let me see here. Sorry, I might have paused it.
I mean, just look. He's releasing now.
He's getting hit right now.
There comes
That's
Jennings.
slow motion, by the way. Brock Purdy's on his ass right now. Back there. That's a big throw, man.
That's a big boy throw.
It's not going to do them all the time, though. But still, it's a tough throw.
And the elites can't always throw them. Brady ain't always throwing them. Mahomes ain't always throwing them.
Right. We can go right to this drive here. This is that final drive. We're going to go back audio on this thing here.
On second down, Purdy slings it. Kittle dropped it. He would have had a first down.
Oh.
I mean,
A rare one from Jordan.
watching
How
this.
deflating is that, right? You have the first down, you throw it.
Sorry, you got to do it again.
Yeah, you got to figure a way around it. So
Let's kind of skip through some of this so I don't. Let's see here.
this to me,
3rd and 5. It's a big boy throw.
this is
Don't fuck it up or you're going to.
that.
He did catch it. It's a catch. And a first down for
It's
San
arguably
Francisco.
better than the Jennings throw. I mean, look at that. Boy, he fit that in. He threw it when he was already draped on him, too, by the way. Look at him.
Crazy. See what else goes here. This is the whole drive. Nice. This is a nice, easier throw right there,
I mean,
which
it's
is
an
common.
easier throw, but that's still.
You have to make it. You have to read it. It's a timing route.
He had to know that the guy underneath wasn't going to affect it. Look, 34 was right there. If he turned around, tried to, he got it up over him.
Chris Conley had 3 catches all
By the
year.
way, like this is the best drive he had. I mean, let's not say that he didn't go down there and throw a touchdown to Kittle. He did.
What was one of the things people would say? Well, he can't play from behind. I'm looking at 21-17. That's behind, right?
You know what? It's funny. James Jones was saying, come on, man, that's not behind. It's got to be like double digits. They keep moving the goalposts. Every time they say you have to do
So
something.
to fit their narrative.
To fit their narrative. He keeps moving it. That's what I'm saying. These guys are they're just hating because I don't know why they don't really like him. I mean, I try to like anybody that I think is good, that's doing well, or I'll give him credit. I gave C.J. Stroud a lot of credit. I didn't know he was going to do that. I was giving Jordan Love credit. And then, they were comparing, Jordan Love. Let me see if there's anything else on this thing. I think it just goes into... Yeah, I mean, I can stop this for a second here. I mean, you got this. If you don't go down there and score, game's likely over. I mean, you got Green Bay's got 3, Niners got 3 still, but still, you need to score, man. 3 ain't gonna do it. You need a touchdown. So I'm gonna mute this and we can. I don't know if you have anything else you want to share. I'm just gonna mute this and we'll just keep playing this a little bit here.
No, I mean, this is a big boy drive, and he did it. The thing everyone was saying he couldn't do.
Yeah.
He's doing it. I don't care if it's 4 points, 2 points, 1 point.
You have to do it or you won't win the game.
Right. He still had to lead a drive.
They want him to do it twice maybe. That's why, we need double digits. Oh, okay, so you want him to do it twice. Okay. So then we'll have to wait till there's a scenario where he has to do it twice. But then I'm like, I don't want you having to do it twice. That means you're probably not doing well.
Right. If you're down
The team
that
is not
much,
doing
that
well.
means you're not keeping your team in the game. Well,
At all.
He was keeping his team in the game.
Dude, if this is a shit game and you want to give them like this, like these analysts and stuff, so-called analysts, I'm going to call them, were saying comments and stuff like, oh, he played bad. He played bad for 3.5 quarters and stuff. And then I forget, somebody made a comment and says in like Twitter that said, that's funny. He played bad for 3.5 quarters. And James Jones, obviously, liking Jordan Love and stuff. He's like, but that last half of a quarter, or whatever you want to call it, the fourth quarter, that last half was enough to be better than somebody's 3.5, or that, see what I'm saying? Like that little bit of game, which is what counted at the moment. So, I mean, he threw for 252 yards. So I understand that
It was more than Love.
Yeah, it was more than a lot of people. I mean, but his percentage completion was it was like 58, 59. Sorry, he's not above 60, which is where he usually is.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like 58 or something like that.
21 of 39 or whatever. I don't know what
it was like 58. I have here.
I think you got the stats up. If you pull it, you have.
Yeah, you can pull it up right here.
You had the game stats. So, but I thought his percentages was great, but I might have been wrong.
23 for 39. So what is that
Okay.
mathematically? I think it's going to be here. I'll just do it real quick right here. 23 divided by 39.
Yeah.
So that's going to put him at, I think, 58.9, 59%. But, dude, I mean, I can go and pull up.
It was raining. I mean, there's a lot of factors that came into it. I
Right.
mean,
And you haven't even heard me mention that. You're not seeing me give an excuse for rain, but I know that the rain is a problem for him. He even tells you. For all players. So, like, there goes his stats right there, 252. He's had a terrible game, by the way. They're like, oh, well, he should have thrown an interception to Savage. Well, let's be fair here. Jordan Love had a pick Lenore went right through him. They didn't want to obsess about it because it wasn't as obvious in the game. But Lenore should have had that pick. Jordan Love did throw 2 picks in the game, so you can look at his stats. And I'm not trying to dog out Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. It's just I have to defend Brock, and it's against Jordan. And I got people like James Jones, who is probably the one who triggered me the most, that is, dogging out Brock and, all in love with Jordan.
Right,
Love.
and they can't say, well, Christian McCaffrey. Well, let's look at Aaron Jones had a great game too.
108 there on the ground, 98 on the ground. We got 252 passing here. We got 194 passing. You got the 2 picks. We're talking about, that's why Sherman was like, look, I'm talking about facts. You're talking about these like what ifs and all these should have, could have, but didn't happen. Well, we can analyze the whole game, and they're like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Missed that field goal. This is James. I'm like, James Jones, but we missed a field goal too. Like, you're not taking both sides when you're arguing. Your debates are terrible. Get these guys off the television, man.
He just says anything that'll fit his narrative.
They do, man. They put whoever they want us to listen to, man. And I'm being, and people can be like, oh, this guy's a dick. I'm being real and fair to, I think, the audience, the public, the Americans, everybody that lives in America that watches this, or even in the world. Like, dude, we listen to people and they push people down our throats and stuff to say these guys are the ones that know what they're talking about. And the truth is, they really don't.
No,
they're no different than you watching this.
They got to play in it doesn't make them better at analyzing.
At analyzing.
Yeah.
No, you know how to catch a football, and you were born with probably some great athleticism and stuff. Let's be real. That's, God-given gift. You're fast. You're strong. You're tall. You're big. I didn't get that. But maybe I got the analytics. Maybe I'm good at analyzing stuff. Maybe I'll tip my hat to myself and give myself some self-love, on that. But that obviously you guys see me triggered. I'm a huge Niner fan, and I'm very biased, obviously, because of this. But I am trying to be fair, and I do look at numbers. I do analyze games. I do review things. I have no problem looking at all these and analyzing this. Not that the stats tell the tale, and they can say that. Okay, well, let's not use stats. I just showed you. We can go look at this Brock Purdy drive that we just had to watch him go and do. If not, he wouldn't have won.